Welcome back. We are here. It's season 2 of Comments from the Couch. I'm Daryl Selby and I am joined by my good friend Cameron Pilley.
Great to be back, Bobby. Great to be back. Season 2.
I know. I didn't think we'd get through season 1, to be honest. So
No.
I'm happy they've recommissioned us. And when I say they, I mean we've recommissioned ourselves for another season. How was your summer?
It was an interesting little summer. Weather-wise, it was a great summer. Denmark, I think, had their best summer in about 300 years, so that was pretty good. Underwent a little bit of ankle surgery.
How was that?
The operation was successful. Everything went well.
Yeah.
So that was the end of June. Basically had 2 weeks on crutches watching the World Cup, so to be honest, it actually timed in pretty well for the World Cup.
Yeah, you love your football as well, don't you?
After that, I really did. It turned me. I'm a football fan.
And the diving? The theatrics?
Diving, oh, mate.
Big fan of that coming
Absolutely.
from Australia, aren't you? The rugby sort of manly side of it.
Absolutely did my head in.
Yeah.
I thought, I don't know, weirdly, I thought it wasn't as bad as I remember it, all the diving and theatrics and that during the World Cup. But then I'd see one or two which just did my head in, and then I'd just turn it off.
Yeah. England did well, though.
Yeah. What do you think?
Oh, we did well. We
Yeah,
did very
yeah.
well, but
Better than you expected.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It was actually nice to have a manager that was passionate and proud of what he was doing for his country. We haven't had that for a long time, and we had a good young team, and they played well. And they gave everything, got to the semi-finals. Unfortunately, just didn't quite have that quality to make it any further. But I think it actually hammered home that football in England is still going strong. It's a tough one because the Premier League's so strong, and a lot of the young English players don't get a chance. But the World Cup was good, and everyone at home was buzzing.
Bring it
buzzing.
home.
It's coming home.
I thought they were going to go the whole way. I thought they were on a bit of a roll.
Yeah, it just wasn't to be. But yeah, so that was your summer. And ankle, you're back this week.
Yep, back this
in
week.
Philadelphia.
Yep. So first tournament back here in Philly, US Open. Possibly came back a little bit too early, but it's one of those ones. With my surgery, I had bone spurs removed, so nothing to do with ligaments, muscles, anything like that. So I couldn't do any further damage. So it's healed. The surgery was a success, and I got the green light to train and play and compete. So I thought, okay, let's give it a crack. Still a little bit of work to do just to get the strength and stability back in it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I came and gave it a good go. I found myself 2-love up, which, to be honest, it really surprised me.
Yeah.
But
then what happened?
I think I shocked myself. I was 2-love up. No, it was. I was so nervous before that match. It was the weirdest feeling. It was just the unknown. So honestly, I thought, am I going to lose? Am I going to get embarrassed on here 3-0? Is it going to be a 5-setter? Am I going to win? Am I going to lose? And I think because of that complete unknown, like not having played a tournament since May, having the surgery, I was so nervous. At one stage, I thought I was going to bloody throw up. Before I've never had that in my life.
Really?
Never. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, Jesus, a bit nervous. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, don't throw up here.
Is that your first proper injury though?
Yeah.
Because I remember discussing with someone before, and they were like, "Oh no, Pilley's never injured."
Yeah. Yeah. No, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never had anything that's put me out for more than basically a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just niggles.
So it was new for you. That's the thing. Is it like a new experience? It's like you're back on tour for the first time because everything was new because you're not sure how that's going to react.
Yeah.
And
I had no idea.
Happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
To be honest, it held up well. As the match went on, it got more fatigued, and Todd Harrity I think he started to figure out what was going on and where he could sort of expose me.
Yeah.
And all credit to him because, it can be tough playing somebody he knew I had surgery. It can be tough playing somebody like that because you want to expose them, but if you can't do it right, then you actually get exposed. So all credit to Todd. He started playing well. He snuck the third and the fourth and fifth. He played really well. But it's
good to be back.
It is.
Good to be back for you. That's good. Nice to see you back.
What about Bobby's summer?
Bobby's summer.
How was it?
At home, loving it.
With the family?
Same, weather was a joke. Best summer I can remember. With the family, just cracking on. Bit of business, little bit of training here and there.
Yeah.
Not a lot. Bit of golf.
Did you play a bit of golf?
Played a bit of golf, yeah.
Nice.
Always.
Nice.
Standard, really.
Yep.
And then, the shock of coming back on tour again.
Yeah, this is your first one as well, isn't it?
Yeah, first
US
one.
Open.
Unfortunately, we had a cancelled tournament last month in Alexandria, so very strange feeling to actually have my first tournament in October as the start of a season.
Yeah.
And it probably showed a little bit. I was a little bit rusty, I guess, in bits of the match. I lost to Simon Rosner 3-2 yesterday, but played some good bits.
Yep.
Some definitely some positive bits. Just a bad start of the fifth, but that's just, this is his fourth tournament and my first, and he was just match sharp, and he probably didn't play his best, and it wasn't our best match that we've ever played quality wise, but nice to sort of he's number 4 seed, so nice to push him hard and not get wiped 3-love as you sometimes think that might happen.
Speaking of matches, you guys have played how many times this year?
It's an absolute ridiculous stat.
4 or 5?
No, that was our fifth time in 8 tournaments.
Jesus.
Which, considering how many other players I could play against, it's annoying because I've lost all 5 as well. So that's double whammy.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So previous to, where'd you play, TOC back in January? Was that the first one this year?
Yeah, that was his first win, I think, against me. So he reminded me he was like 8-0 down.
Yeah,
and then he's like gradually clawing back. Now I just said I'm going to try and avoid him to keep my head-to-head record like ahead of him.
Yeah. So 8-5 now.
8-5, yeah.
You still got him.
I still got him. Yeah. Anyway, so that was our summers, I guess, in a very condensed period. But we are happy to be back. Happy to be back on tour, and we can, I guess, crack on with the show. As always, the first part, we're not going to change this, but this is listeners' questions. So, Cameron, what little gems have we got in store today for listeners' questions?
We've got some gems, Bobby, absolute gems.
I can't wait to hear your pronunciations.
Okay, so
come on.
Here we go. First question from Twitter at Comments from the Couch podcast from Colin Schofield. Now, Schofield, Colin Schofield reminds me of
what does it?
What's that series? Prison Break. Michael Schofield. What's his name? Prison Break.
Yeah, no. Stop looking at me like I don't know what Prison Break is. I know what Prison Break. I can't remember his name. His name's Michael, but
yeah, Michael,
you might be right on the surname actually.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the pronunciation, but
yeah, definitely right. At Colin _
Go on, carry on.
Yep. I love your podcast. I'm looking forward to season 2.
Yes.
Thanks, Colin. My question: as professional athletes, do you guys deal with inevitable injuries that occur? Any war stories from you or other players in terms of said injuries?
Well, I mean, you're a good man to talk to about that. But, I say you're a good man to talk to only because it's recent, but I'm, touch wood, a little bit similar to you, I guess. I've never had too bad an injury that's kept me out for a long period of time. I had a problem with my back, which was ongoing for about 15 months, which was a bulging disc, but I managed to carry on playing through that, which was painful at times, but eventually got rid of it, and that was nice when that finally went.
When was that? What year? It
was about 4 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. How do you deal with it? it's tough. I guess you have to make decisions on whether how badly it's affecting you. You know, a lot of the guys and girls will play with niggles and little bits and pieces that aren't quite right or don't feel right all the time. It's quite rare, I think, you go on court feeling 100%,
Yeah.
especially as you get older. But I guess it's just you find a way of managing things that if you have the same problem ongoing. I think these days people work a lot more with S&C coaches, strength and conditioning, physios, and I just think people look after their body a little bit, or try to look after their body a little bit better. Hence why you don't get, or you try not to get, as many injuries. You don't, I guess, see as many injuries. But
yeah,
you know, there's still players that struggle a lot, and
yeah,
with different bits and pieces. And you know, Rami's obviously one that springs to mind.
Yeah,
just a shame really that he doesn't play as many matches because of his body as he could.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you touched on, you know, I think a lot of club players, and I've been asked a few times, they're surprised when they hear pros say, "Yeah, you know, I rarely step on court at 100%."
Yeah,
it is. So many pros will step on court with a small niggle, but like I said, it's manageable, and you manage it, and you step on court and you deal with it.
Yeah.
It might only affect your performance 1%, but once you do step on court at 100%, I mean, it doesn't happen that often in a season, does it? There's normally something, a stiffness or a, you know, something where you're like, oh yeah, geez, I'll get over this. But it's yeah, a lot of club players are surprised to hear that.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it's the same with club players, right? You rock up and rarely you might have had a tough day at work, whatever it might be. You got a sore Achilles, you got a sore something from playing 2 days ago or whatever. I don't think anyone rocks up and plays sport 100%, you know, feeling 100% a lot of the time. I mean, in the days when it does happen, you're like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then bam, back down to earth the next day when you wake up and you can like barely put your socks on.
Yeah, you get chopped up 3-0 and you're like, oh.
Well, that was pointless. Yeah. But no, I think injuries are one that we all try and do our best to avoid, right? So
yeah, I think my weirdest one would be playing good mate of ours, Steve Coppinger, Chicago last year.
Oh,
I think it was.
Yeah,
last year. Yeah.
Was it last year? No,
was he
not this year. What are you?
No. Yeah, so not Chicago this year. So Chicago.
Yeah, you're right. Last
2017. Yeah,
18 months ago.
Yeah. Broken nose.
Yeah. I was watching.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely got me flush on the bridge of my nose.
Yeah. Did you win still?
Nah. I was up 2-love, and it was at some stage in the third, and I've hit some sort of shit backhand to the middle of the court, and I'm thinking, okay, he's going to go volley drop here. I've tried to scoot around him for the volley drop. He's just pumped this drive from a short swing and just cracked me fair on the bridge of the nose, and blood everywhere, like, you know. So I've come off, and I'm holding my nose. Because I'm thinking, okay, I felt a crack.
Yeah.
I heard a crack.
Yeah.
This isn't good. Come off court. My wife Lena, she was in the crowd. Player. She's come over like, oh, you know, how is it? Show me. And I've moved my hand away, and there's blood everywhere. My nose is like halfway across my face, and it was pretty funny seeing Lena's reaction. But yeah, basically, I sort of, I don't know why, but I knew that the quicker you can put it back into place, the better. So I've sort of gone to the bathroom and popped it, sort of cracked it back in myself.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
you meant to do that.
Well, all I see
think that's
is
a dislocation. I don't think it's broken.
No.
It's got the broken bone back.
Well, I just remember seeing people like playing rugby league and stuff, and
yeah, but they're nutters, mate. What are you
yeah,
doing?
well, I just thought I'll just do what they do. So I've gone in and looked in the mirror. I'm like, wow, that's well out of place there. So I've got both my hands over my nose, and I've just like cracked it back and sort of looked at it, and I'm like, no, that still needs to go a little bit more. So I've done it again. I've like pushed it across and heard another little crack, and it's straightened it up. But as you can see, it's still like it's still a bit crooked.
Yeah.
But
was that your first broken nose as well?
Well, I thought it was, but apparently I went to see a what do you call it, a nose specialist, like back in Denmark.
Is that the technical name for it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if there's any nose specialists out there, then
what's your actual name? Yeah.
And then he goes, "Oh yeah, it looks like you've had a broken nose at some stage in the past." Like I'm like, "Geez,
we don't know when."
Yeah, maybe when I was a kid. I don't know.
Okay.
But he did say it's good that you put it back in place quickly.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he's like, that was probably good because then you can get some complications if you leave it for too long.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So I've broken my nose 3 times. And I've always left it.
Have you?
Well, I say left it. Like, I went to hospital.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, you've got a broken nose."
And what do they do?
Send you home.
What? What?
I broke it playing football.
Yeah.
I headed the back of someone's head and then went to an A&E, sat there 4 hours. They went, "Yeah, you've broken it." I was like, "All right. Yeah, you have to go back. You have to go back and that was it. You just have to leave it." So
was it across like? Was it
it's
halfway
right across my face. Yeah,
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty, but ended up getting it reset. So I had to go and have an operation to have it reset.
Oh, okay.
And then I had to wear a mask for a week at school.
Yeah,
that went down well. Yeah,
sure the lads would have had fun with that.
Yeah. So yeah, traumatic times in my youth, but we've both got pretty similar terrible noses now.
Yeah. Next time you see us, just check out our schnozzers.
Yeah. Thanks. Well, don't. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's
one question.
Yeah, that's question 1. Yeah. All right.
What else you got for me?
All right, from Chris Watson. His handle birds_central. Bird Central.
Bird Central.
Yeah.
Sounds like the name of a decent pub, that.
Yeah. Great work so far. Keep it going. Thanks, Chris. Wouldn't mind hearing your thoughts on reffing.
Oh.
Something we've all got to do at club level from time to time. Specifically, I'm interested in a modern take on the old adage, don't argue with the referee.
You are speaking to the wrong person.
I mean, do you think it's good? Do you think it's part of the game? Do you think it should stop? Do you think
refereeing? Do I think it's good? Well, we can always improve, right?
Well, don't argue with the ref.
Don't argue with the ref.
Let's start with that.
There's a way of, I guess, like there's always going to be differences of opinion. When you're on there, you see one thing, and obviously referee sees another. I think there's a difference between arguing and questioning. That's for sure.
There is,
because I think you have a right to question the decision, as in inquire for an explanation as to why he gave it, or he or she gave that particular decision, so you can understand it and carry on, or understand it for next time if the same situation occurs. Then you at least know the line of thinking that the referee's taking. And I think questioning a decision is fine to understand it. Arguing, I mean, I've been guilty of it in the past, and I was, not great when I was younger. Still not great sometimes now, to be honest, because it's, you're in the middle of a match, passion's running high, it's very close. One decision can change a match, as we saw yesterday. With the boys were talking about Castagne and Joel making the end of that match. No, I didn't see it, so I can't really comment, but I know it was quite controversial, and one decision is effectively the referee decision has decided the match by all accounts there. So it does have a huge impact and implication on results. And when you've got players giving everything, training their socks off week in, week out, and someone else is maybe taking that away from them through poor decision making, or just lack of preparation or understanding, it's frustrating. So you sort of have to have that appreciation of why someone would argue, and there's lots of reasons for it. Now, some players are worse than others, and some players needlessly argue, and I don't think that's any good for the game, because no one wants to see that. But on the flip side of it, if it's done in the right way and people show a sense of humour or some passion in the right way, then you want to see people's characters. And that's why Power was part of his legendary status, is because of what a genius he was with a racket, but also what a McEnroe type character he was. And he brought that love and hate out of fans, and that's sort of what we need. You need to have players that divide opinion, and it makes that sort of attraction stronger or a lot worse. So for Power, like these fans, the people that loved him, bam, he was like the greatest. They love him, brilliant. He's brilliant. And then others were like, no, he's terrible. He argues all the time. You can't watch him. Blah blah blah. But at least it gives that argument a bit of sort of passion.
It's a talking point.
So in terms of, I don't think we should stop it.
No.
I think you have to monitor it and make sure that it doesn't become offensive or out of hand, or And when that happens, when you're watching, you start cringing a little bit in your seat when you feel like someone's going a bit too far. Then that's the time I think it needs to be controlled and reined in a bit. But I don't think it needs to be necessarily stopped.
No.
Yeah, what do you think? I've sort of rabbited on a bit.
No. I mean, there's a way to go about it.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a spot there for someone like a Power, an entertainer.
Yeah.
So very charismatic, and I mean, I suppose in the modern game now, you've got somebody like Gaultier, who just his antics and the way he sort of carries himself and goes on, you love him or hate him.
Hate him when you're playing against him. But I actually, I love his sort of huge chin.
It's
and he dances and stuff. Like I love that side of it.
It's like it's a fist pump, but with his chin.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
I love it when that match with Shabaggy and TOC.
TOC
with all the theatrics.
2017.
Yeah. Because it's, I don't know, the controversial one.
Yep.
I mean, I would have been fuming if I was Shabaggy, but being a spectator, brilliant.
Watching it unfold was amazing.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
His massive chin nod just reminds me of Quagmire off Family
Guy.
Yeah.
Giggity.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Good question.
All right, last question from Craig Stewart, Aussie, down under.
You've picked all the easy names today.
But his handle is @5. I mean, I think it's a smart way of doing squash fan. He's thrown some numbers in there to make it a little bit confusing, but basically @squash fan with a few 5s and a 4 and a capital F thrown in there. Okay, Craig, what do you think of squash photography? What is the state of it from a player's perspective? #QuickQ, #keep it up, #keep the pods coming.
Nice hashtagging.
Yeah, good hashtagging. Good Craigo.
Squash photography. What do I think of it? I mean, it's an interesting one because we don't obviously have a lot of photographers doing squash photography, so it's always particularly been one sort of style, I guess. Tends to be always photographed from the same spot because front of the court, above the tin, in the corner. There's not many other spots to take photos from.
Yeah.
But
we're talking glass court.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's getting better. The quality of everything visually is getting better.
Do you think there's any angles or a different perspective that that photographers could try and get to?
Yeah,
or,
why not?
Yeah,
why not? It's tough though. I have to, I was playing yesterday. There was people moving around, quite close photographers, in different spots yesterday, which is, quite difficult when people are moving in between rallies, especially when they're so close to the side wall or the front wall. Yeah, it just catches your eye and really takes your eye off the ball. But I think why not? You've got to try different things. Photography is definitely getting better, but I think we just get a lot of the same types of shot, I guess, from the same position. So it's not that easy, to be honest. It's not like with football, cricket, golf. There's so many different angles you can get because you're in an more open space. You've got we still have a 360 type view, but it's very difficult. They can't go right against the glass on the back wall, really.
No.
On a glass court, and then along the sides, it's quite difficult to get a decent shot. I think through because you're taking pictures through glass. Yeah, that's the difficult bit. Yeah. So I think they do a good job, really. Yeah. Considering how difficult it is. Yeah. But yeah, maybe I'd be all up for different types of creative shots. Maybe trying a few different positions.
Yeah, it is a difficult one, and that's why you see court cleaners getting on and cleaning the glass down the front of the tin, back wall. Like it has to be crystal clear.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the photos just turn out rubbish.
Yeah.
I mean, to answer your question, Craig, it is good. It's very good, but it would be nice to, I don't know what angle or what perspective you could try or it's tough. It's limited.
Yeah.
It's limited, but I'm sure somebody will figure out an angle.
Yeah, it's just worth giving a few new ones to go. Like there was a very nice guy sent me all my photos yesterday from Simon's match. So there's lots of people willing to help and give you photos to try and enhance your profile, your catalogue of different photos and what have you. Which is good.
The good thing about getting those photos from the front of the court, looking back, you really get the expression of the player.
Yeah.
The muscle definitions going on in a massive lunge to the front of the court, like your opponent's expression when they're on the tee, like maybe mid-air. It is pretty interesting, but I'm sure it'll sort of advance at some stage. I don't know what to, but there's potential there.
There is potential.
And that's listeners' questions.
Thank you, mate. They were very, very interesting. Okay, so the first part of the main bulk of the show, we're going to just quickly chat about the new season. The new season upcoming. Well, it's already started, to be honest. But, who we think is going to do well. Some predictions for how the season's going to finish. And
any movers and shakers we've sort of
earmarked? Have you earmarked some?
I haven't earmarked any just yet.
Well, I mean, tournament-wise, obviously we're at the US Open now, so last 16 starting today, and then we've got Channel Vaz, St George's Hill coming up. I'm just talking about the men's at the moment, and then Qatar is after that, Qatar Classic, and then Hong Kong is the next World Series, which is in the middle of November. And then we've got the Black Ball is a new one in Cairo. At the start of December.
New tournament on the calendar.
There's obviously lots of other tournaments mixed in. Still a lot of the new format of tournaments. Obviously the new draw structure. Plus also, which I think is a great idea, which I've seen already, is the different events that are earmarked for qualifying for the World Championships.
Yeah.
So if you win some of the 10K size events, both in the men's and the women's, you win a spot in the World Open. I say World Open. The boys hate me when I say that. That's the old way of saying it, and it should be banished. The World Championships.
World Championship,
which is in Chicago in February. $1 million event.
That's amazing.
Huge for squash, I think.
Yeah. First $1 million event.
Yeah, which is massive and shows the progress that the PSA World Tour has made over the last 5 to 10 years, I guess. Some huge strides in production, in squash TV, just in general. I mean, there's always little bits and pieces that we can improve, and I think everyone's trying to continually improve. But in general, I think the PSA World Tour is healthy at the moment. The sort of equal prize money that we've almost got to now is fantastic, and lots of positive things. So with all the positivity, the season upcoming, what we're going to talk about in terms of, I see you've got the women's rankings there.
Yeah, got a few names.
You got a few names, have you?
A few names.
Is this some predictions for who's going to do well this season?
Why not? Should we just make some predictions?
I thought you were going to start going on about Shabini's backhand again.
Oh, what? Sorry, what? Best backhand ever? No. So it's the first World Series event, this one.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this one unfolds and see who's got some early season form.
Yeah.
As we know, it doesn't, because it is the first major, it might not have a huge bearing on the end of season World Series rankings, but at the same time, if you can get off to a good start, get off on the right foot, I mean, that it can just give you so much confidence going into the first half of the season. I think we'll see the usual suspects. This is the women's game. Shabini, Raneem, El Tayeb, and Camille. I think those four are gonna stay pretty much up there in the top four.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think the top three won't change.
Yep.
I feel like.
Do you see somebody outside the top four pushing into that top four, or outside the top five pushing up into the top four?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, and this isn't just because she won the last tournament in San Fran, but I think SJ's got a great shot of getting in the top four. I think when she plays her top level squash and she's moving well, I think she can really challenge the top three because of the variety in her game and the skill set she has. She just obviously lacks a little bit of consistency to do that every single tournament, which is where someone like Shabini, who is number one, and in the men's Shibagi, they are so consistent every time they turn up, every tournament. The consistency level is so high that they don't tend to lose early, and they're always in the latter stages. So, but I think for sure. Any of the others, I mean, there's lots of good players there. Interesting to see what's happened to Gohar, because when I first watching her play, I just was amazed at how cleanly she struck the ball, and she was still a junior then. And I was like, she has to be world number one at some point. Yeah, that was my prediction then.
When I first saw Gohar, I thought she's a machine. She's hitting the ball so well, so hard, so accurate. I think.
But it's interesting to know what's happened, because she lost to Yathreb yesterday. Yathreb Adel. That's a great win for her, but she's not really making the latter stages of the tournament, so not that I've seen recently. So
no.
Hopefully she can turn it around, because she's a great player to watch. But any of the others that you think could make a little jump? Obviously, like Amanda's been injured for a long time. She's down at 18 at the moment. Amanda Sobey.
Yeah,
she's always a dangerous player. Great to watch. Very attacking.
Yeah, I think Amanda will. I think she'll have no problem getting back inside the top 10. I would say top 8.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Amanda's highest ranking is. Do you know?
It's either 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think she'll get back to equal her best ranking at least this season.
Okay.
I think with Gohar, I haven't seen her play this season. I know there's only been a couple of events, but I wouldn't be surprised if. Well, at the moment she's ranked number 7 in the world, and she's, by her standards, she's had a couple of bad losses.
Yeah.
If she can turn that around, and I think she just needs to change a couple of things in her game, add a couple of things. If she can do that throughout the season and just sort of adapt a bit, I think she can push up top 5. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. She's definitely got potential to go top 4, top 3.
Yeah.
I think her best is 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
It's top 3, and I think if she can do that and adapt a couple of things into a game, I think she can push back up there into the top 5 this season.
Okay, so just looking through my prediction for the next top 10 in a very short space of time, and she's still very young, has to be Hanya El Hamami. Now she's still a junior.
She's still a junior.
Yeah, and she's very good, and I think I won't be surprised if she made the top 10 this season.
So she's ranked now.
She's 19 at the moment.
Okay.
But she pushed Camille very hard yesterday, and she also produced probably one of the best comebacks ever in the first round. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw the comeback.
To lose 11-1, 11-2 in the first 2 games, and then complete. I'm not sure how many match balls she saved.
I think she was down like 7-3 in the third
as well.
7-4, yeah. 2-love 7-3. That's a solid comeback.
But that's my prediction for one to sort of look out for, I guess, if you're if you're a squash TV fan and you're watching a lot of squash, and and keeping an eye on the women's game. I think for me, she's definitely one to watch.
Okay, good call. I'm going to throw out a couple here.
Yeah, go
on. Just watching I watched a few of the matches from Nantes.
Yep.
In France.
Yep. Who are you impressed by?
Well, I just randomly watched a few matches and Julianne Cortez. Is that how you say the name?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, pronunciation again. You've
Perfect.
improved over the summer.
Been practicing. So she's ranked 46 in the world, and I've only seen a couple of matches on Squash TV. I haven't seen her play live.
Yep.
In person. I was pretty impressed there, and I think she'll definitely push up. I would say I'll say top 30 this season.
Nice. Yeah.
At least.
Good shout. I'm a fellow Black Knight player. Just have to get that.
Oh, there we go.
Shout out.
And the other UK
Go on.
girl.
UK, yeah.
Who was it? Let me think. Lucy.
Lucy Tamel.
Yeah, I think she'll go all right as well.
Yeah.
I think she's, again, I just saw a couple of matches on Squash TV from France. I don't actually know what she's ranked at the moment.
She's moving up, that is for sure. She's a
Yeah.
good player.
Yeah.
One of our English brightest hopes.
Yep.
For the next few years. So hopefully she can continue to do well. And yeah, she played well in Nantes.
I think she'll be okay. I'm just checking now. She's 61 at the moment.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised if she goes top 40.
Yeah.
Minimum this season.
For sure.
So there's a couple of my little predictions.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, unfortunately, us guys can't actually get onto the women's side of the World Tour website, so we can't actually see the who's in what tournament and what tournaments they've got coming up. So I think theirs is they've got Carol Waymuller, I think, after
Yep.
this US Open.
Yep.
They've obviously got Hong Kong.
Yep.
But I'm not sure what other big events they've got. But obviously, I think their second half of the season is a lot busier than this first half of the season. So, keep an eye on the women's matches. We'll maybe come back and see how we did on the old predictions at the end of the.
Okay, just quickly, give me your end of season world number 1 and world champion.
I think world number 1 is still going to be Shabini.
Yep. World champion in Chicago next year.
World champion.
Long range prediction. This long way out.
Yeah, it's a long way out. I'm gonna go for Reneem.
Okay, double up.
Who are you going for?
I can't see Shabini losing her world number 1 status by the end of the season. Just going off what she's produced last season and the last few seasons. I think she's too consistent, and
You're a big fan, aren't you?
I'm a fan.
Yeah, you're a big fan.
Sherbs to stay number 1. Sherbs.
The Sherbinator.
The Sherbinator. World champion.
That's a hard one because it's a lot of the time it can be on form. Like who comes into form at that particular time. But go on. You look perplexed.
Well, I'm thinking, Sobi's going to have a good push this first half of the season, and she's going to push up. I don't know.
That'd be a hell of a shout if you called that.
That would be a hell of a shout.
It's obviously in the US, home world champs.
Yeah,
could be a good one.
You know what? If I was a betting man, and I am. If I was a betting man, I'd go Sherbs for world number 1 and world champion.
Okay.
Yeah, but
he's put his neck on the line there, guys. He's gone for the current world number 1 and dominating force in women's squash. He's really put it out. He's really put it out there.
I'll go an each way bet on Sobi.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
I'll take that. I'll take that with you. Okay, so that's the women's sort of predictions, I guess. Men's wise. Movers and shakers.
We
obviously know this a little bit more in depth because we play against these guys on a weekly basis. That guy's good, isn't he? 21. Oh, I'm not even in the. I actually have to click load more now.
Load more.
I'm not in the top 20. I'm out. Are you in it? Oh no, you're.
No, I'm 2 behind you.
Oh my word.
Yeah, I mean,
We're just old, aren't we? And terrible.
We'll be back in there soon, mate. Don't worry. Back on that first page of rankings.
We need to get on the first page again. Okay, so.
Do you want to give me some movers and shakers?
Oh, okay. Give me some movers and shakers. Well, obviously, top 4 is Egyptian, as it always seems to be these days. Mohammed, Ali, Marwan, Tariq. I mean, a very strong top 10.
That's a strong team for the world teams, isn't it?
Yeah, they sort of they won.
Do you reckon they'll be number 1 seeds or?
Yeah, they were last time, weren't they? And yeah, we didn't unfortunately get too close to them last time. But who have we got? We got some youngsters. I'm going to give my boy Declan James a shout out for getting top 20. He
top 20 first time.
Top 20 first time, and also just above him actually Rafael Candra, who these I say youngsters. Everyone seems young to us, but yeah, youngsters coming through, and both had sort of good potential, and then had a couple of good wins. Good, Raf in British Open played phenomenally well. Showed what he's capable of, and Declan obviously winning Nantes, playing great, and beating Jimbo in the final. Those boys are obviously making some strides. Tamimi is up to his highest ranking, I think 24. He's a dangerous player. Obviously, still needs a bit of consistency.
Yeah.
But on his day, he's a very talented fella, isn't he? I mean, he can hit every shot in the book.
Yeah.
Who else? We've got some interesting ones. Joel Makin, Greg Lobban.
Yep.
Both working a little bit, I think, with Nick Matthew now.
Yep.
Be interesting to see how they do this season under Nick's guidance.
Somebody. See number 35 in the rankings. You got Mazen Hesham. Do you think? I mean, he's troubled a little bit by injuries for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Do you think he can turn things around, or does it depend entirely on his body if he can get that right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we all know what he can do with the racket.
Yeah.
If he can move as well, then of course he's going to be dangerous. He's just someone you don't know what's going to happen when he turns up and plays.
No,
he's a bit like Rami in that fact that he can be unbelievable and almost unplayable, and then other times he can hit a lot of errors and it's not quite his day. So he's someone that massively lacks consistency. Rami's obviously moving in the wrong direction because he's just not playing, which is a shame.
No.
But you've got a solid top 10 there. Abulgar's had a great start to the season, winning in China. He's one that's exceptionally dangerous.
Yeah.
We've all known that for a long time, but he's just showing his capabilities, I think, now. I think I probably predicted him at the start of last season as well, and he didn't quite come through. But I'm going to say again this season, I wouldn't be surprised if he made top 5 this year. Gawad, I feel like he's just about to. He had a bit of a bad patch, and I feel like he's going to come back into.
He's due for some form, isn't he?
Yeah, I feel like he is. I mean, there's so many you can mention. It's Paul Cole's looking strong. He obviously beat Diego very comfortably yesterday.
Yep.
And then Diego's an interesting one. Obviously, he's.
There's a bunch of names there, isn't there?
It's, going down even 37. Yusuf Soliman. He's had some good results. He's a dangerous player. It's Dazuki's been out for a while.
Yeah.
I say a while. It's almost a year now. I don't know if
it's been Hong Kong last year.
It was November, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
yep.
I don't know when he's likely to be back, but lots of interesting names in there that can make some moves and any other thoughts?
Well, I mean, just rounding out the top 10 there, you've got Paul Collett, I think he's highest at number 8, and Abulgar, not sure, but I think it's highest at number 9, or maybe he's been 8. I think both those boys can push up.
Yeah.
I don't know at the expense of who, but I know Paul's been working hard in the off season in the summer, trying to add a few things to his game.
I say working hard. Paul Cole.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep. Smashing out the weights.
Yeah. Smashing out everything.
Yep. No, I think if he can sort of adapt a few things that he's been working on into his game in time for the season, He took down Rosner in China, which was a good win for him.
Yeah.
On the glass court. I think he can push up. Abelgar, he can definitely push up. You mentioned him top 5. I think he also top 5. I'm interested to see how Diego goes. So he's dropped to 13. He was top 10 a few months ago. If his body holds up and he can if he can get some consistency, he'll be back in the top 10. Rami, we'd all like to see Rami injury-free for a season. Don't know if that'll happen. If it does, I mean, who knows what he can get to. I mean, he's getting on now as well. I mean, Rami's, Jesus, how old's Rami? 30, 31?
I think he's 30.
30?
I think.
I mean, that's still almost 6 years younger than me, so he's a young fella.
Good. Quick maths. Quick maths.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys that can sort of move and shake there. Apart from us two, obviously, we'll be pushing up there.
The thing is, though, funny you say that. Like ranking-wise, for us, I think this season is going to be a little bit irrelevant because it's very hard to be. You know, you need a little bit of luck of the draw, and then obviously, as you get older, consistency, maintaining, backing up day after day after day is tough, week after week. But I still feel like we would be dangerous in any tournament. If we played well at a tournament, then I still feel like we could make some serious, create some serious upsets and.
Show these young fellas a thing or two, innit?
Yeah, show what's happening. Show them 15 years of experience, or for you 25. Been on tour since you were like 10.
17 years on tour.
Yeah, that's a long time, mate. Yeah, that's a long time.
No, definitely. I mean, it was only last season we both had some pretty good results. So, yeah, on our days we can, show the young fellas a thing or two and try and get some results this season.
Yeah, I think so. Of course, we'll always be giving it a go, getting stuck in. That's what we both do well. But yeah, looking forward to the season.
Yeah.
Might be our last, might not be our last. We shall see how the body holds up.
Yep.
But one thing I know, it will be enjoyable, and the tour is growing and growing for the better. So I hope to see you in a few shot of the months.
Yeah, hope so. I need to join you on the shot of the month.
Yeah,
contenders.
I enjoy just trying to get on there, spending my whole life getting on it, trying to get on it.
Quick question to round off this segment.
We need to predict, do we?
Predictions.
Okay.
World number 1 and world champion.
Well, I know what you're going to say anyway. Spaggy. I'm going to go for.
Let's start with end of season world number 1.
I'm going to go for. I'm just going to change it up a bit. I'm going to go for Farag.
Farag, end of season world number 1?
Yep. I'm going to go for it. I might have stuck if Mohammed's listened to this, he might be like, right, I'm not having that. And that'd be interesting, to be honest. But, I mean, I think the fire's always there between those two, and they're battling. They're going to have some good battles this season, I think.
Yep.
World champion, I'm going to go for... Oh, it's a tough one. I'm going to go...
Apart from ourselves, obviously.
Yeah.
If we don't win it, then who do you think?
It's in Chicago. Who plays well in Chicago?
Who won Chicago this year?
See, Marwan always plays well in Chicago.
True. But, actually, he won it this year.
Yeah, he does actually play well there in general.
Yep.
But I'm not going to go for him. I am going to go for...
I see you're scrolling down the list there.
I know.
Looking for a little outsider.
Do you know what? I am looking for an outsider.
Well, for my world number 1, as boring as it sounds, I'm sticking with the world number 1. So in the men's and women's, I think the start of the season world number 1, they're going to hold on to it. Yeah.
Okay. And world champion?
See...
I'm also tempted to just go Rami. He's going to make a massive comeback.
But
and win it.
then I'm looking at someone like Gaultier as well.
I know.
He's as experienced as us.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Farag. I'm gonna go a Farag double.
Farag double.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Farag double. I was tempted to go for Gawad or Abelgar, to be honest.
Okay.
As an outsider.
Yep.
Or even Paul.
Yep.
Paul Cole, but I'm gonna stick with Ali. I'm gonna go for
the double Ali.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
I mean,
I'm not sure.
There's so many names there that can produce on the day, and on the week.
Yeah. Well, just go for the world number one again.
You know what? No, I can't do it again, can I?
Well, you can if you.
I
It
can.
depends what you think. What do you actually think?
Who's going to win the World Championship in Chicago?
That's the question.
That literally is the $1,000,000 question.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to establish from you.
You know what? The world number one's going to double up again.
Blimey.
Yeah. I'll throw in my dark horse. My dark horse,
Okay.
Gawad.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Predictions.
Good
Done.
stuff. Okay, the next part of the show, we're going to talk about leagues in general, which different leagues we play in, what different leagues there are, and how it works for players, I guess.
Yep.
People have asked me before, what leagues you play, how does it work, how does a team choose you to play, or how do you end up playing for some random team in France or Holland or Belgium or wherever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, first, I'd like to talk a little bit about PSL, which is the Premier Squash League in England.
Yep.
We've changed format this year. We've gone to a best of 3 for the group stages, 5 players in a team, and then controversially and wrongly, in my opinion, have gone to 3 players for the playoffs, but best of 5. So changing the format midway through the season. People have asked me quite a few times about the best of 3. I actually think it's quite a good idea. I understand some of the negatives towards the best of 3 and foreign players travelling over, which we can ask Cameron about, to play a best of 3 match. But I think as an evening and excitement-wise, and a buzz created around the clubs, I think it's something a little bit different and something where people can get to watch a lot more players if we play on one court, etc. So let's jump in and talk about PSL a little bit. So from the few negatives that I've heard, and I know Paul expressed it after we played. Paul Cole plays in the same team as me at RAC, sponsored by Tradition. He sort of said after the match, we played at St George's, which is the first match, it's a long way to come for a best of 3. And I think his match with Tom was a good, hard-fought 2 games, but 20, 25 minutes.
Okay, yep.
So you are the perfect person to ask, because you travel from Denmark.
Yeah.
You played the first match.
Yep.
You came across.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's your thoughts?
Overall, I think it's a better format than it has been in previous years.
Okay.
I think, I can only speak from site play for Newcastle.
Yeah. Who's the team manager?
Glepper.
We got to give him a shout out.
Shout out Chris Gillespie.
Shout out Chris Gillespie from Newcastle. No, he's been fairly influential in getting pushing for a new team, and it's great to see a new team in the northeast. Yeah.
And the squash community there is so keen and so enthusiastic.
Yeah, was it good the first night?
They absolutely loved it.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah. No, they had a great turnout. It was packed, I think 150, 200 people to turn out for their first match ever.
Yep.
No, but I think the format's good. I think it's good that, so in previous years, for those who don't know, quite often you use 2 courts, 2 matches on the sort of, I guess you could call it outside court, and 3 matches on the main court. It sort of split the crowd a bit. It sort of split the team. Not everybody's there supporting whatever match is happening on the main court. So I think the format's great. It's shortened it a little bit. I still think they could start earlier. So at the moment, kickoff time's 7 or 7:30. I think they could bring it back to as early as possible, maybe 6.
That is my main bugbear.
Oh, okay.
Why are we starting at 7?
I've touched on that, have I?
Oh, my. Luckily at RAC we start at 6.
Yeah, you start at 6. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's normally done by 9, but it just means that people can come, straight after work, rather than having to go home, wait a little bit, and then come back. It means a few more kids can watch.
Yep.
To start with, at least a few of the first matches.
Yep.
So yeah, sorry to interrupt. But that is for me. I don't know why we're starting at 7 o'clock.
I've hit a nerve there.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Well, it's just late nights. What time did you finish?
Late.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11ish, 10ish, 11ish.
Yeah. So that's a little. A problem with a lot of leagues, I think, is that it's always late finishes. So trying to get crowds to stay to that sort of time,
Yeah.
unless it's a Friday night or Saturday night, which I know they do at Bexley, which is a good alternative to get more people in on a Friday night. If they get more people in, then great. Get a few beers down in the crowd and get it nice and loud.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yeah, I think apart from maybe bringing the start time back an hour or so, I like the format. One court, everybody's playing. Okay, it's best of three, so yeah.
You're all right coming over for a best of three.
Yeah, the thing is, I, as a foreigner, I know what the format is, and I know what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
I'm coming over. I'm playing best of three. If I don't like that, then I won't play.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think it's something different as well. So it's sort of I know in Newcastle it was a pretty the crowd was buzzing. It was pretty electric, and it can also even out some of the matches where you think this maybe quite predictable. In a best of three, it can be very unpredictable.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it brings a new excitement to it. I'm all for it.
Yeah, but it's interesting because we were chatting before, so that's PSL is that particular format, but we play a lot of different leagues. So I personally have played or am playing Swiss League this season, Bundesliga, which is German league. Who else am I signed up for? I can't even. Dutch league, of course, Dutch league as well. I have played French league in the past. I know you've played a lot of French league.
Yep.
Italian league. I've played Italian league as well in the past. But these are all different systems, different amounts of players in the team,
different
scoring system. Like Italian league is 3 games to 15 points, and you just add up the total points. Which got me the first ever match I played. I played Tim Garner, 1-2-1. Delighted, won my match.
Yep.
Oh no, you've lost. What? He won more points than
Lost
you.
on points.
Lost on points.
No way. Yeah. Timmy G. Well done, Timmy.
Yeah, he knew the score. Didn't let me know.
Yeah.
Just carried on and then celebrated at the end, and we both celebrated, and it was a very strange, surreal moment. And then when I realised I lost, I was like, oh great. But yeah, so we actually, with the leagues, you play on. Sometimes you play high tin, sometimes you play low tin, sometimes you play 4 players, 3 players, 5 players.
Yeah.
The beauty of leagues is that you get to experience matches in different teams.
Yep.
You get to meet different people. You go to different clubs.
Yep.
And that, for me, is the beauty of league matches and the fact that you can represent different clubs in different countries.
Yep.
We've got a great league format, I think, in squash, where lots of clubs are very hospitable. They want a foreign player to come in. They feel part of the club. It's just a good buzz around the club to say, oh yeah, Cameron Pilley's playing, he plays for my team, he plays at my club, he plays in the Premier League of whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, leagues for me are very enjoyable a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Obviously for us, we get paid a fee. So it's a good way for us to earn money playing squash on a weekend or during the week. And they're good, use of time in terms of it being a practice match as well. It's not a practice because it's a league match, but it's another match under your belt, a good chance to try a few things, and I enjoy it.
What I like about it, and you just touched on, is it's in between your practice match and a tournament match.
Yeah.
So you're representing your team. So you still get that adrenaline, you still get the nerves, you're still there representing all your teammates in the club, the city, whatever city, country you're playing in. And it's sort of that in-between where there's no ranking points or prize money on the line, so it sort of takes that little bit of pressure off to sort of play for that.
Yeah.
But you can try and maybe implement a couple of things that you've been doing in practice, try and put that into your game. But it's still as competitive as hell on there once you get on there. You're playing pros that you might be playing in a tournament, so you don't want to lose.
Yeah.
And also the team environment, which we don't really get to experience that much.
Yeah.
So the team environment as well in different cultures around Europe, it's great.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Yeah. No, I thoroughly enjoy league matches. I've only really got positive things to say. I mean, that's from my point of view. I know some players don't feel the same. Some players, play leagues when they probably shouldn't because they just, and they don't put 100% effort in. And that reflects badly on them, and sometimes a particular club or team then has a negative experience of leagues because the pro doesn't do as they should do, which is a shame. Because if you sort of embrace it and get fully involved and get involved in the team, as you say, it's competitive and you get that team sort of feeling. And it's nice playing and representing different clubs and different places across Europe. So we've got a great system, and I think some leagues are obviously better than others, but it's interesting playing different formats and how you have to adapt different scoring systems on a weekly basis almost.
And some leagues, will travel for the weekend. We might have 2 matches on one day, play at 10 in the morning and then play at 2 in the afternoon. and then sometimes if matches are running sort of overtime, you might play at 11 and 1. And it's brutal. I hate that.
That's French league, isn't it?
French league, yeah.
I know that's what you're thinking of.
I mean, geez, give us a break.
No, you love it, mate.
I do love it.
But yeah, that's I guess a brief overview of leagues and what we experience. I mean, I'm sure we've got some good league stories which we can touch on next time, because there always seems to be some good stories that come about from league matches in general. But if you've got any questions on leagues, on how it works any further, then give us a shout on comments from the couch, podcast, Twitter. I haven't got Instagram yet, have we?
Not Insta, no, mate. We could fire that.
Well, we got Facebook?
No, we don't have Facebook. Well, we've got YouTube now.
Oh, we got YouTube now.
And you know what? I think we can start some discussions on there and really tap into YouTube.
Yeah, maybe we should do a video. I can video this.
Oh, maybe if they're keen for a bit of a video, then they can.
Should we video it as well? Next one.
Oh yeah, next one.
So people can see us and we can sort of wave and they can see your mannerisms.
Ugly mugs and
Well, Pilley does every single podcast naked, which not many people know about.
Yeah, so I don't know if that'll increase viewers or we'll lose every single person listening.
I've got my eye mask on as well, so it's a very, very interesting setup we have.
Naked.
But yeah, okay, that was interesting. Okay, so we come to the last part of the show. I know some of you will be devastated, but some of you will be delighted. The quiz is no longer. That has been resigned. Oh my word!
I'm devastated.
Oh yeah, it's been resigned to season 1. So if you enjoyed the quiz, season 1, there's plenty of quizzes in there. Season 2, we've switched it up, and we now have the last section, which we have titled "The Greatest."
The greatest.
I like it. Okay, so the greatest. To explain a little further, after the success of the first episode we did of season 1,
our pilot
episode, which we very briefly discussed our greatest player, or at least building our greatest player, or different aspects of squash and which player was the best in that particular category. We are going to do the last section, the greatest. So we're going to each build our greatest squash player by taking different attributes from different players to build our ultimate squash player. It's type robot, type hybrid.
Yep.
And then at the end of the series, end of the season, we're going to go head to head to see who wins. So we hopefully will have slightly different players in general. So my backhand, whoever I choose for my backhand is going to be hopefully different. Well, I know who you're going to choose.
Yeah, it'll obviously be worse than Sherb's. So, yeah.
So we're going to gradually build out our greatest player. We need to define the categories, which we will do. If any of you have any suggestions on the categories, I'm thinking between 6 and 8 sort of categories. Obviously, forehand, backhand. We're going to have speed, power, fitness, mental strength. Any others you can think of that you want to add in?
I think
skill level,
movement in general.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get them all together, and I'd say there's going to be about eight different categories.
Yeah.
So let me get this right. You will produce your greatest player.
So my greatest player might be like blah blah blah, backhand is this.
Yep.
Their forehand is this player. Their movement is Janch's. Their, etc., etc.
And I will produce mine.
Yes, but we can't have the same.
No.
For each category.
No.
They have to be different.
Yep.
And
then at the end of the season,
we will go through and it will be a hybrid, a beautiful robot that has different attributes from different players.
Yep.
We will then go put our players head to head in a huge poll.
Huge.
With millions of people voting.
Yep.
To decide who is better, me or you.
Yep. I like it. I like it. Yeah.
But that's the premise of the last section of the show that will be for season 2. So let us know if you think that's a good idea. I hope you do. I have a small tear in my eye to say goodbye to the quiz.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, head to head, me versus guess, I might have snuck home.
Versus the guests?
Yeah, all guests combined.
Not sure about that. Jenny absolutely hammered you.
Yeah.
Did you beat Nick?
That was a bad start. Yeah, got Nick. He had nothing. Yeah.
He had nothing.
Commonwealth Games, got nothing.
Yeah, he's got nothing. Although he is doing a podcast. We have a full-on rival. I mean, the other podcasts are very good interview type podcasts.
Yeah.
Been lucky enough to be invited on one or two. But I think we have a genuine rival.
We've got a competition.
So we need to up our game.
All right.
Be interesting to see what they produce.
Yep.
So good luck to you guys. The more people we get talking about squash, the better.
Exactly. Yep.
So good luck. Enjoy the podcast. But for now, this is the end of episode 1 of season 2. Amazing that we made it to season 2. If anyone would like to sponsor this podcast and give us lots of money, then please get in touch, and we can maybe finance some videos. We can finance some just paying off my debts and stuff like that.
Yeah. Easy done.
Yeah. So anyway, all jokes aside, I've thoroughly enjoyed our first podcast back.
It was great.
After a huge break.
Yeah, we're back.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. And until next time, ciao for now.
Ciao.